Good morning, class 9 students. In today's session, we will be uh, discussing about formal letters and informal letters. And in your syllabus, we have informal letters, but it is very important for us to differentiate uh, both the letters, the formal one and informal one. We'll know the difference, and then we will proceed with the explanation of informal letters. So the formal letters is written for business or professional purpose with a specific objective in mind. So what are formal letters? Formal letters, it is not in your syllabus, but it is important to know the difference so that in future you won't find any difficulty. So when do we write formal letters? So when we write formal letters, it is written for business purpose or professional. For example, you're writing to a manager, you're writing for a job application, or when you write a letter with a specific objective, right? And if you talk about informal letter, I think you can write to your friend or acquaintance without any reason. You don't need a specific object. You can just start a conversation, right? And nowadays we have cell phones, we have emails, so nobody write letters. But long ago, I mean, that's how everybody shared communication, right? They used to write letters, formals and informal letters, right? So and when do we write informal letters? So this is where you need to focus on, because in your syllabus we have informal letters, so please pay attention to it. So informal letters are written to friends, relatives for personal communication and require a casual or emotional tone, right? So that is why it is different from formal letters, because informal letters, when you write to your friends, your relatives, this for your personal communication, it doesn't mean that it has to be purposeful all the time, right? You can just start a conversation anytime. And yes, and the tone, it could be casual or emotional. It doesn't have to be very professional, like like in formal letters. In formal letters, you can use your casual language. So the size of a formal letter should be concise, that does not include irrelevant matters. In contrast, the informal letter can be lengthier, right? So yes, this is also a great difference between formal letter and informal letter, because in formal letter we don't write extra thing. It is very concise and to the point. But in an informal letter, you can talk about your friend, anything. You can discuss about a place you have recently visited. You can talk about his mother, his sister, or anything else. You can talk about his school. So informal letters can be lengthier, right? But formal letters are always short. So we have understood the formal letters. I won't be discussing more about them, because we need to focus on informal letter writing, because it is in your syllabus, class 9 students. So an informal letter is a letter that you write to your family, friends, or even an acquaintance. Acquaintance means someone you're known, right? So now it is clear, when do we write informal letters? When you write to your family, friends, or even an acquaintance. So it is very simple, and it has a very simple vocabulary. You don't have to use very like difficult or very ambiguous words, right? Use simple words which give clear meaning. So this is the format you need to focus on. So when you're writing a formal letter, never forget to write sender's address. It means if you're writing a letter, you will write your address on the top of the letter on the left hand side. Always remember sender's address, your address. If your address is given in the question paper, it's good. Otherwise, you can write any address, or you can write ABC Road, and the state name and the pin code 24 cross 1, right? And then you write, this is called salutation, right? So you will always write dear friend, dear Vikas, dear Mukesh, dear Anita, and all that. So the writing style, it is very, in informal letter, I am, let me just explain this to you in a nutshell, right? If you're writing a letter to your aunt or a grandmother, right, you will always be friendly, right? Warm. And yes, it doesn't matter whether the letter is formal or informal, it has to be grammatically correct. Use yes, grammatically correct, use good expressions, understand. And if you're writing a letter to a friend, yes, you can use like slangs, hi, how are you, buddy, and all that, right? But no spelling mistakes and no grammatical inaccuracy, right? You always have to make sure that your right letter is grammatically accurate. So you can also you in letters you can express, in informal letters you can express your disappointment. You can talk about a party, you can have a serious tone, you can talk about anything, right? You can talk about holiday, understand, joke, and anything, a memory, whatever, right? And salutation is when you end your letter, you can you can always give a concluding part if you want to. And that and you can then you have to wind up your letter. You have to sign off your letter by writing yours. I would recommend that you write yours affectionately, or your lovingly, your loving daughter, sister. And always remember, we never write your apostrophe s, right? You write the possessive form, yours sincerely, yours affectionately, yours lovingly, understand? So now we have one question that we will be discussing so that you could understand even more better, right? So your Shresha Menon, your friend Samantha is coming to India for the first time. Write a letter describing yourself so that she may recognize you at the airport, right? So you are Shresha, and your friend is Samantha, and is coming to India for the first time. So you are going to write a letter describing about yourself, that how you look, understand, so that she can recognize you. Probably you have met on social networking websites and all. So like we have just discussed, first we write sender's address, it is right there, understand children? You write sender's address, and then you put date, and date has to be put in this manner: 12 July 20. We cross out the year. Never write 12 dash or slash or dash or slash, no dash or slash. You will write this way. You will not even write July this way, 07. You will write JULY, right? And then salutation, dear Samantha, right? I was really excited to learn that you will visit India next week, right? This is very casual language. I will show you around Delhi and even take you to my ancestral village, right? You are going to take him, you will show him around Delhi. This is actually the body of the letter, right? Where you write the purpose, your future course, your communication, and all that stuff, blah blah. You can include everything, right? So you have, now you are talking about your ancestral village, Hatur in Punjab. And of course comma, I will meet you. This is art, it is wrong, it has to be at, okay? This is, I will meet you at the airport. But as you have not seen me, I am giving you a short description of myself. So that's how she is giving her description. I am 5'6" feet tall, rather slim, my hair is cut short, I sport what are called spikes, I have large black eyes and a small flat nose. I wear braces on my teeth. And the day I come to receive you at the airport, I will be wearing blue jeans and shirt. This is just for an example, right? Because now we are very advanced. We can share photographs beforehand. So don't get deep into it, right? Just try to understand the conversation, the words, the statements, the expressions what she has used. And then your loving friend, or you can write yours lovingly or yours affectionately. And now we have one more letter that I am going to discuss with you, and I think it is going to very easy. I think you will understand. So I believe children, you have now memorized the format of the the letter, informal letter, because let me just remind you the marking scheme of your letter. This letter carries 10 marks. It is very huge. So how your 10 marks are divided: 1 marks you get for format, 5 marks you get for content, 2.5 marks you get for grammatical accuracy, and 2.5 you get for expressions and your language, right? So please make sure that you write good content. You also have to make sure that you do not make any spelling mistakes or any grammatical any errors, right? So is that clear? Format, and yes, format means sender's address, dates, salutation, and subscription, that is yours lovingly, yours affectionately, your loving friend, your loving sister, right? So this is the next question we have. Your Akriti, Abhinav, yeah, right? You're either Akriti or Abhinav, right? If you're a girl, you will choose this name. If you're a boy, you will choose Abhinav. So write a letter to your friend describing your boarding school in about 120 to 150 words. So you're Abhinav. I think you have enrolled and in this boarding school, so now you have to write a letter to your friend. Your friend's name is not mentioned here, so you can use any name or you can use ABC. You have to describe how your school is. So that's how. Let's start. So what will we write first, children? Yes, we will write sender's address. It means Abhinav's address or Akriti's address. So you can put any address. You can put your so we have put the address with the pin code and then date, right? Date has to be in this manner, March. You will not write 02, right? 15-02, this is wrong way. You will write 15 March 2021. And dear Muskan or dear Mukesh, you can use any name. So yes, that's how we start letter. Obviously you will ask how he is, how his parents are, how is he doing, right? So how have you been? I hope my letter finds you in best of health and spirit. So you can actually understand these lines and yes, you can also memorize it. I do not recommend memorizing it, but try to understand it. So it has been almost a month since I transferred to the boarding school. So it's been a month. He's been in the boarding school for a month. So I'm very happy in my school. Yes, that is what you talk about. When if you're describing about a place, obviously you will tell him that when you were at what time or on which date you went there and how long it has been. So what it's like, I mean, you are happy or not, how your classes are, right? So the classes, dormitories, the place where you sleep are very spacious, right? So again, the school is nice, it is spacious, lots of gardens. And now you talk about labs. So there are well equipped science laboratories, library with a great collection of books. Obviously when you're describing about a school, you will talk about the playground, you will talk about the building, you will talk about this infrastructure, you will talk about the labs, chemistry labs, books, library and all that. And yes, the sports facility, right? Because everybody loves sports, especially children. The school has amazing sports facilities such as swimming pool, horse riding track, archery range. So you have described everything. This is what you can include. So I believe my life here will be interesting and enjoyable. And then you shows that in future I think you will be enjoying this moment, right? Although I have made many new friends, I still miss you and the other friends. Please pay. And this is the emotional note. You are showing your concern that you miss him, that you still remembers him, right? So please pay. You can either write yours sincerely, or it is always better to write yours affectionately, yours lovingly, Akriti. Either if you're girl, you're writing you're Akriti. If you're boy, you're Abhinav. So that's we have we have informal letters, right? So children, you have informal letter in your syllabus, and we have just discussed two types of informal letters. It's very easy. It is not necessary that you have to write a very statements or language that is very enriched in vocabulary. You can write in a very simple way. These are letters, right? Or especially the the informal letters. It can be simple, casual, the way you talk to your friend, but do not use any inappropriate words, or obviously you cannot misspell, or you cannot write the wrong things. Always write the good things. Do not write any obsoletes or cliche words, archaic words. Only write the common words, right? So that's how you can write a good letter. And please, when you're writing a letter, everybody needs to make sure that you do not scribble, you do not crisscross, don't put crisscross, or do not mistake, and use a good pen, because the writing has to be clear, because you're writing to a friend. Nobody's gonna read if it is not good, if your work is very untidy, right? Obviously, why would somebody read your letter, right, if it is not written properly? because it is now handwritten. But children, now now that we are so advanced, we have texting, we have message, we have emails, we have WhatsApp, we have so many social networking sites. But it is also important that because English is all about language, and letter writing is all about your writing skills. So no matter whether you're writing a WhatsApp message or you're writing an email, yes, you should know the format. Plus, if you will practice these writing formal informal letters, obviously you will learn and you will improve how to write good letters, right? So you can use the skills when you're texting or when you're Facebooking and whatever the social networking sites you're using. You can use your writing skills. So the purpose is to improve your writing skills, understand? So it doesn't matter whether this letter is still trendy or not, but you have to improve or enhance your writing skills, because we never know, in your life you may get opportunities to write letters. So please do it. And yes, in colleges we do accept application, right? And yes, even in school, you're in 9th standard, sometimes you need to write to your principal, but this comes under formal letters, not informal letters, right? But you can write to your classmates, you can write to your friends, you can write to your seniors. So at this time, you have this is where you need your writing skills. So that's all for today. That's all we have in today's session. As you know that your first unit, that now in your course you have this formal letters, in informal letters and models. In the last video we discussed models, so please do revise it and do practice more. And for formal letters, you will be getting questions to you will get some questions to practice. Check your homework and do it positively. Do not skip it, and do watch the video from the beginning to the end to ensure that you will understand well when you will watch the video from the beginning to the end. If you will watch the video not the right manner, then you won't be able to get anything from it, right? Because it has to be watched from the beginning to the end. Thank you everyone, have a nice day. See you in the next lecture.